Hello everyone. Some people can't live without feeling thrill and doing unusual things. You probably know a person like that, or perhaps you yourself are a person of unusual tastes. For example, you can suddenly climb a nearby mountain to see the sunrise, or swim in a frozen pond. In today's video, we've gathered the stories of true lovers of unusual activities who have challenged the world with their achievements. Their records are shocking, and in some cases they put their lives at risk. Want to know more about them? Then let's get it on. Kristoff Rehaga. If you are not taking a walk but simply need to go from point A to point B, then you'll probably choose the shortest route, but not Kristoff. This incredible globetrotter decided to travel from Beijing to his motherland, Germany, on foot. Whoa. Kristoff began his journey on the 9th of November 2007 when he was 26 years old, and concluded it 1 year later on November the 13th, 2008. He managed to cross the Gobi Desert, survive a sandstorm, suffer from cold and heat, visit many wild and abandoned locations, and meet different people without losing his strength of mind and positive attitude. In the course of a year, he covered a distance of 4,646 kilometers, grew long hair, and an even longer beard. During the trip, Kristoff used his camera to record all the changes that occurred to him. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, this adventurer couldn't reach his goal. After a year's journey, he decided that he'd already gained enough experience and that he couldn't finish his journey in a more traditional way. Kristoff wrote the book The Longest Way, 4,646 kilometers on foot through China, about his experience, while the video he recorded on the road became one of the most viral in 2009, according to Time magazine. Matthew Ahn. Lawyer by profession, Ahn breaks records in his spare time. Matthew has already been dubbed the king of the subway for his passion for traveling underground, and he totally deserves the title. Matthew took part in the so-called Subway Challenge, during which participants had to visit all the New York subway stations in the shortest time possible. Matthew Ahn put all his strength into it and set a record, twice. In 2015, he visited 468 stations in 21 hours, 49 minutes and 35 seconds. It's probably hard to sleep during such a challenge, but the New Yorker didn't stop there, and in 2016 he visited 469 stations in 21 hours, 28 minutes and 14 seconds. It's an odd but great way to secure a place in the Guinness Book of Records. Why not, right? Fyodor Konyakov. If there were no people like Fyodor Konyakov in the world, we wouldn't have so many geographical discoveries. Konyakov circumnavigated the Earth 5 times and crossed the Atlantic 17 times, once on a rowing boat. He is the first man in the world to have reached the 5 poles of the Earth: the North Pole, the South Pole, the Pole of Inaccessibility in the Arctic Ocean, the summit of Mount Everest, and Cape Horn. And he has been to the North Pole 3 times. He crossed the Pacific Ocean alone in a rowboat in 159 days, 14 hours and 45 minutes, setting a record. He also set a record ballooning around the world. No, seriously, Konyakov's records get more amazing every time, and he doesn't plan to stop. On May the 9th, 2019, he crossed the Diego Ramirez Islands in Chile and became the first person in history to cross the Southern Ocean solo in a rowboat from New Zealand to the Drake Passage. These are very dangerous latitudes, by the way. But there was more than one record on this trip. Konyakov is the person who spent the most days in the Southern Ocean. He is the only person who managed to cross the Pacific Ocean in both directions, and he can also be considered the oldest solo rower in the world. After all, Konyakov is 67 years old, but even at his age, this experienced traveler has no intention of stopping. Alex Honold. The name Alex Honold often comes up next to the world record because this American climber is famous all over the world for his solo climbs. This means he climbs without ropes or safety gear. A fall from 15 meters or higher is likely to be fatal. He sometimes spends 12 hours or more risking his life. Do you see now why this guy's a real celebrity? He's broken some speed records in climbing, the most famous of which is free solo climbing the Yosemite Triple Crown in 18 hours and 50 minutes, and of course climbing El Capitan, one of the largest monolith peaks in North America.
Crushed it.
Even a video of Honold climbing the mountains can cause vertigo, heartbeats, and nausea, if you even dare to watch it. But for Alex, it's just a lifestyle. He became interested in climbing at the age of 11. At 19, Honold left the University of California and has since devoted all his time to the mountains. Alex prefers extremely difficult routes and lives in his minivan most of the year, but not because he's a weirdo who hates comfort. Honold says he'd love to live in a cozy house, if he could move it from place to place. Well, people haven't yet come up with this technology, so he has to keep to his mobile home. Luciano Bayetti. Is it possible to set a knowledge record? Well, it's hard to say, but you can become the most educated person in the world. Today, this title belongs to Luciano Bayetti from Italy, who was included in the Guinness Book of Records for having received 15 academic titles in several Italian universities, from literature to law, including psychology, sociology, philosophy, geography, and political science. This man literally seems to know everything. Despite being in his 70s, Luciano always strives to broaden his knowledge and even tries to learn online. Yes, even after 15 degrees, he continues to study and attend advanced training courses. By the way, he tries to prepare for his classes at night so as to not inconvenience his family. However, his age can be an issue sometimes. He doesn't learn the information as easily as he used to, and now he has to read the same piece several times, and his memory is sometimes a little messy. Karl Meltzer. Any race that exceeds the distance of a marathon, i.e. 42 kilometers and 195 meters, is known as an ultramarathon, and Karl Meltzer is a star among the athletes who challenge themselves in these races. At the age of 48, this ultramarathon runner set a world record, crossing the Appalachian Trail in 45 days, 22 hours, and 38 minutes. It's a 3,500-kilometer long hiking trail. Karl is one of the most experienced trail runners on the planet. He's done some challenging routes and set some incredible records, but the Appalachian Trail is a really special place. It passes through 14 US states, and to overcome it in record time, Meltzer had to run at least 77 kilometers a day for 46 days in a row. It sounds just completely unbelievable, but not for Karl. The runner had already tried to conquer this trail twice, trying to set a record, but he failed and promised himself not to try again. But he changed his mind, and it turned out to be the right decision. In total, Meltzer did 4.2 million steps, burning 345,100 calories and achieving his goal. Dodaro Belore. On July the 28th, 2015, Dodaro Belore was awakened to terrible news. His 16-year-old son was killed in a car accident because of a pothole on one of Mumbai's roads. Study reports about 27,000 potholes, causing more than 3,000 victims of traffic accidents each year. Probably anyone in Dodaro's shoes would have been devastated to learn that his son became part of these horrible statistics, but the man decided to do everything he could to prevent these kind of accidents from happening again. Dodaro applied to the local authorities several times, but he was not satisfied with the results. It was a very serious problem that required an immediate solution, so the man decided to take the matter into his hands. With the simplest tools, Dodaro began to fill the potholes by hand. Turned out to be a very difficult job though, but the man didn't give up. So far, he has fixed 600 potholes, and he doesn't plan to stop. Dodaro also created an app that any citizen can use to mark potholes on a map. This in turn helps the authorities to take action and fix the potholes, making the roads safer for everyone. However, Dodaro hasn't stopped working. He says he will do it for as long as he lives, or as long as there are potholes in the world. Ashrita Furman. Entering the Guinness Book of Records is obviously a great achievement. Setting 2 records is even better. 3 is something beyond human capabilities, but Ashrita Furman doesn't even seem to think about this. After all, he has set more than 700 official records, of which he currently holds 200, including the record for the most records. Yes, even that's an official Guinness Book record. Furman specializes mainly in jumping, walking, hula hooping, juggling, balancing, and the like.
Come on. Yay!
Ashrita has also pioneered several new sports, including land rowing, using a modified indoor rowing machine with wheels to travel 2,400 kilometers on Bali's roads. We agree it sounds crazy, but Furman likes to set new records. By the way, the man does his incredible feats on every continent, including Antarctica, and in many places of interest. But how did he come up with such an unusual hobby? What compels a health food store manager from Queens, New York to do these fantastic things? It all started in 1979, when the man set his first official record with 27,000 jumps. He couldn't stop after that. This is what Ashrita himself says: "I'm trying to show others that our human capacity is unlimited if we can truly believe in ourselves." We're wondering if you're capable of something like that. Share your skills in the comments. Maybe you will be the next person to set a new record. Who knows? Psst, dude, are you looking for new technologies and great gadgets? Are your thoughts focused on the future? Do you love huge vehicles and can't imagine your life without robots around you? Then visit TechZone and you'll find all this and more. The link is in the description. You interested? Great.